Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. How's everybody doing today? Good to see everybody. Today, usually I go live Saturday night. Had a change of plans due to my work schedule, but I figured it'd be better to do it today instead of late at night. Um, but I've been wanting to talk about this topic. Also, I've been taking some time off from YouTube just to clear my head a little bit and reflect on some things. And I'm back at it. But this subject I want to talk about, the future of swirl to investment. Okay, what is swirl to investment? Okay, I always say that, swirl to investment. I always tell people, I have that saying, open up your options, swirl to investment. Okay, most of you that watch me know exactly what it means. It means interracial dating to marriage, taking our swirl to marriage, swirling the right way. Okay, Chris Heltzer. Okay, how you doing, Beverly? Good to see you. But swirl the right way. Okay, I don't promote swirl to see what it's like, to see what it's like to be with a black woman. No, I promote it when it comes to leading to true love. Okay, I think everybody should have that option button. Okay, and get to know other people. You might be missing out on a blessing, and the person that is meant for you might not look like you. Okay, for some of us, that's the case. That's okay. Some people are attracted to people of other racial groups, other ethnicities, and that's okay. Nothing's wrong with that. Okay, we might be attracted to their appearance. We might be attracted to how they conduct themselves, their character, how they move, whatever. Okay. And my preference has always been black women, and people, always accuse, oh, you're a fetishizer. Like, it's a weird thing, but that's a stereotype that people push to try to put down interracial relationships, to keep black women and white men apart. They do it all the time. Okay. Now, in today's world, we can date and marry whoever we want. There's no law against it. After the Loving versus Virginia case, it made it legal in every state, which is beautiful. It should have never been illegal. It should have never been a thing. If you find true love, that's a blessing. All right. The future of swirl to investment. Okay, what is that future? That future, it's increasing every day, and people are opening up their options more than any time ever in our country. Okay, black women, white men are the least likely to do it right now, but the numbers are changing. Things are shifting. Okay, more black women are opening up their options today, whether it be to white men, Asian, different groups of men, and that's a beautiful thing. And it gives black women more options. It makes men compete for black women. But if they're only race loyal, you know, you only get what's in the box. You know what I mean? You could be helping someone in a bad relationship or bad marriage. You a godsend. Oh, thank you. That's sweet. I hope I'm helping somebody. I hope I'm getting people to understand Black women. I hope I'm reaching Black women that believe that other men are not interested in them. Other men are interested in Black women. You don't know. Black women just don't know how beautiful and valuable they are. You know, and I want to put that message out there and debunk that other men aren't interested. And I want to tell white men and other groups of men, Black women love you too. And look, just because you find a couple that are not interested in you, might even be nasty to you, that's not speaking for everybody. You got to get out there, open up your options, and get to know each other. I always tell Black women and white men, give each other a chance. You might be surprised. You might be like, wow. Okay. But, you know, and let's talk about love, power, and the opposition. Okay. Coming together interracially, Black women, white men. Okay. We're finding out that Black women, white men are having success. There's been many studies that show that Black women, white men are the most successful when it comes to marriage, from the marriage lasting the longest, and even in wealth. I know people don't want to believe that and want to tell me I'm a liar, but I get it from studies. I'm not just making it up. It's happening. And we should promote any marriage that has success. I want all marriages to last. Okay, we're better off in our nation when we have more successful marriages. But anyway, I want to talk about some things, some misconceptions. Okay. And this is always the stereotypes, right? I made this little slide. I got some videos to show you too. But let me show you this slide. Okay, I made. And here it says attacks on Black women, white men relationships. Okay. We get attacked quite a bit. Okay. And you know, you've heard these attacks on Black women who marry and date white men. Sellout, bad wench, self-hater, white hander, white supremacy. We always hear this nonsense, this garbage. Okay. If a woman finds love with a white man, you need to leave her alone and let her live her life. Okay. She's not a sellout. She's not a bed wench. Slavery's over. Okay. That bed wench was not used back then. It's something haters came up with to attack Black women that have relationships with white men. And white supremacy is a bunch of BS. It makes no sense. White supremacy is white only. Okay, white supremacy does not welcome interracial relationships. But they'll say it though. Number two, some attacks on white men, okay, who marry and date Black women. Fetishizer, okay, we hear this all the time. Oh, you're a fetishizer because you're with a Black woman. No, I'm with a Black woman because I love Black women and I chose to marry a Black woman, okay? Hates white women. I've been accused of hating white women because I show love and respect for Black women and I uplift Black women. I don't hate white women. I just happen to really love Black women. Okay, that's my preference. Okay, lustful. Okay, say the reason white men get with Black women is because of lust, because they're a fetishizer. This is such a played out stereotype. It's ridiculous. As if only white men could have the ability to do that. And then, of course, racist. Okay, and it's weird that you would be called a racist when you're with a Black woman. I never thought long ago that would be a thing, but it is a thing, believe it or not. The word racist is thrown around so loosely it can mean anything anymore. Number 3, black women and white men marriages are growing faster than any time in America. They are. All interracial relationships are growing faster than any other time. Okay. And, well, they're the longest lasting marriages. Okay. According to Pew Research, the U.S. Census, and other studies, not all the studies say the same thing, but more than not show that black women, white men do have the longest lasting marriages. Okay, and that's despite the stereotypes and attacks. Okay, and think about that. I didn't put every name out there that we're called, or that white men are called, or black women, for being with each other. Okay, I didn't use every name, but you get the point, right? We're always under attack. Okay, all the time. Black women are shamed for dating and marrying white men. Okay, not all people do it, but it happens more than it should. Okay, but anyway, this is stuff that I see. Okay, and then I get comments throughout YouTube. I'm going to show you some comments I get. Okay, I do this every now and then and show you guys what I get from other people, right? What they say about my channel or the subject I'm talking about. Okay. Let me get this off the screen and I'll show you a slide of some people that have nice comments to say on the Roadrunner show. The Swirl to Investment. Okay. All right. This here, and this is a comment that I screenshot, and this is Mr. Me Too. Okay, whatever. I'm absolutely sure you can't find a lawyer in the U.S. to argue the fact that collectively black women are good people. I will pay the fees for anyone who do. Okay, so what he's saying is, I don't know who this is from. I'm assuming it's a black man because it was on a black man's channel, but who knows? But this is some of the attacks towards black women, that something's wrong with black women. And this could be just anger because black women are opening up their options. But it's pretty disgusting to say they're not good people. And if a lawyer would not take up a case on that, he'd be stupid. Black women are beautiful, amazing people. Black women are the most loving women on this planet. I'm just saying. I mean, but anyway, that's a comment that I see. All right. And here's one I got on a show that I did. I called Reflections, Black Women and White Men, what we have in common, right? Well, this guy says Henry Hybrid Beats 3334. Okay. This, and he's talking about my channel. This Swirl page is really weird and is for black women that worship white men. This is why black men could care less about you all. Every black woman that follows this page is a crispy, hair-hatted hooligan. Wow. Well, obviously you care because you watch my channel to put in a rude comment. This is not a worship channel, okay? Nobody here is being worshiped. When we have a prayer meeting, we worship God together, but we don't worship each other, okay? Black women are not coming up here to worship white men. They're coming up here to talk about their experiences interracially dating, coming to talk about opening up their options and promote Swirl to Investment, okay? But this is just a rude comment Okay, you can say what you want about my page, but why do you gotta attack black women? I mean, if you don't like black women, go find you a Becky or Mei Ling. I'm just saying. But this is the stuff I get. Attacks constantly. I always get rude comments like this. People hate when black women and white men come together. They hate it. They don't want to see it. They want to destroy it. Okay. Well, that's pretty amazing, right? Okay, let me take that comment down. All right. Let me show you another one. That's not all. Okay, I already showed that one. All right. This one here. Okay, this is from Big Dog 9935. Black women are sad, sleeping with white slave master who hard and tortured their ancestors. Great job, black women. Cheers. There's another attack, and this is common. Okay, a lot of times they'll attack relationships with black women, white men, and bring up slavery. We got to go back to the 1860s and beyond. Okay, and it's a way to shame you. That no white person in America has participated in slavery. No black person has been a slave. Okay, I don't know why people have to go to that, but when they start talking about this stuff, talking about slave master plantations and slavery, that means they have nothing to offer. And really, it's a way of saying, hey, they're throwing in the white flag of surrender because they don't have nothing to offer except going in the past talking about people that ain't even here anymore. Okay? But I get this all the time. This is always thrown in my face. You know, what if I went to a channel that had a black man and white woman and says, hey, white women, why are you sleeping with the men that sold their people off to white people or something stupid like that? Because that happened, right? Has nothing to do with the people living today. This crap I get all the time. You can't you just talk about stats? Can't you just talk about how we can be better men, how and try to be the best option for black women? How about that? Instead of talking about the past that happened that we can't change. You know, if we're doing a history show, great. But what's this got to do with dating in today's world? You know, but I get that. And it's what it's meant to do is to shame black women. What it's meant to do is to shame me. So, oh my God, this happened, so I can't talk about it no more. That's what they want because they don't want to compete. They don't want to man up and compete in today's world. They want to bring up sins of the past that other people did. I am not my ancestors. You are not your ancestors, your descendants. Your sin belongs to you. Theirs don't belong to you. Okay? 1800 brainwashed. You know, but I get this all the time. And why is this necessary? But it's a common thing all the time. I get almost every show, and I'll probably get some comments on this show tonight about slavery, about stuff that happened and I had nothing to do with, and just to play the victim. You know, but hey, I mean, they can do that. That's freedom of speech. You want to say that? Okay. It makes you feel better, but you got to compete in today's world. You can't live in the past. We can learn from the past and make it a better world, sure. But just to shame women because you don't like who they're dating or shame the men that fell in love with black women? Come on now. Okay. Now, okay, I got some videos I want you guys to see. But I want to talk about this. And this person, I'm going to show here. and a little bit, has had a problem with me, my wife, has attacked my wife, me. I don't care if you attack me. I'm on YouTube. I'm free game, really. But my wife don't really get involved in. She's never said nothing bad about nobody. The only thing she said is how much she loves me and talked about our family and our children, grandchildren, just sharing our family life. But because she's married to a white man, some people feel that it's that they have the right to attack my wife. It's weird, and there's no shame, I guess. Oh, you're with a white man. It's free game. Everybody, let's attack. Okay. All right, and I'm going to debunk this person because I can, and it's too easy. Okay, you look on this. Okay, this person. If you guys know, I went on Big J's channel. I had a problem with him, so I pulled up and we were talking, and it's supposed to be just me and him, but he asked if I could bring some people up, and I thought, ask questions. That's cool. Okay, now I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but this is a comment I received. And I don't care what people think about me, but it says, all that babbling, I was so unimpressed. I'm not interested in his opinion. Okay. His ideas or anything he has to say. Waste of time. Don't give him energy, Big J. Nobody is watching him. Nobody cares. Okay. Well, actually, people do watch me. Actually, my last video had over 600 people watching. Okay. I think the most views you ever got was 200. I have over 150,000 views on one video or one live. I got a video that has over 65,000 views. I have 7,000. What is the count now? 7,300 and some subscribers. You have 130. Okay. People are watching me. Okay. Now there are channels that are bigger than mine that do better, granted. All right, next topic. You didn't want lame white man? Okay. That's your opinion. Unimpressive. This is the one fetishized. Okay. I have a 30-year marriage. I've only been married once. My wife's only been married once. I have a 30-year marriage. So what am I fetishizing? And see, instead of this person doing research and finding out the truth, just goes on stereotypes, attacking. And I would leave this alone, but this person called my wife a black burnt, bitch. Why would a black woman attack another black woman? I don't know. But this is some of the hate I get. Okay. And this ain't a roasting. I'm just putting the facts down. Okay. There are people that watch me and love me. But who am I fetishizing? 30-year marriage. First marriage. My wife's first marriage. Our children are our children. And where's the fetishization? But this is the crap that we get by haters. But anyway, that's what I deal with. People do not look at what's really going on and say, well, you know what? You and your wife had a good, oh my God, you did it right. You did good. But because it's an interracial marriage, there's hate for it. There's hate, not just for me, because they don't like my content, but they'll hate my wife. Okay. Now, it is what it is. I'm not trying to start a feud, but I'm showing you guys examples about what I deal with all the time. This person ain't the only person that attacks me in that way. I get a lot of attacks. My first video I did talking about interracial relationships, black women's hair, right? I was getting attacked for that. I've been attacked ever since I've been here. But you know what? I'm not going to stop. I have a message and I'm going to push it forward. Okay? Swirl to investment is forever. I'm a little piece of the puzzle when it comes to this. This has been happening long before I was even here. I just put a name on something that's been happening, something that's growing, something I'm a part of. That's a beautiful thing. That's improving our life. That's in bringing people together. But you will get hate for loving black women. You will. It's the craziest thing. It's like they'd rather you hate black women than love and respect them. I'm just saying. But hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I would say be classy. Don't attack people's family. Don't attack people's wives, husbands, children. Don't do that. That's unacceptable. That's unprofessional. That's just pure mean hate and evil. Some people so jealous. Yeah. But this is what we deal with. Swirl to investment. If you're a black woman and white man being together, people hate you for it. People will attack you for it. Okay? Now, being honest, most people don't care. Most people will leave you alone. But you got plenty of people that are evil and haters and jealous of what you got. Pick me's and me. Yeah, I think you're right. And this is the weirdest thing. And and here's my experience with black women, my dating history, right? Okay, I've been married 30 years. I got married back in 94. Okay. But before then, I was dating, well, from like 85 to when I got married in 94. Okay. And it was black women I was dating. That's my preference. That's who I had love for, right? But this is the black women that I ran into. Okay. And guys and ladies, you can tell me if I'm lying. Okay. This is my perspective, my opinion. I'm not always right, but the kind of black women I'd run into. Okay. And I started when I started dating at 16, and I thought like a lot of white men think, oh, well, black women are beautiful, they're amazing, but they probably ain't going to give me a chance. Fearing that rejection. I thought, man, because I'm a white guy, they ain't going to be interested. But I just had a drive I wanted to be with a black woman, and it wasn't a fetishization or a lustful thing. I just thought black women were amazing, right? So the women I'd run into, and of course there was rejection, but then when there were women that wouldn't reject me that were interested, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is beautiful. I appreciated that. And I found that there's black women out there and white men, listen to me. There are black women out there that'll love you, that you treat them right. They're going to treat you right. They're going to be amazing, that have love for you. And then there's those black women that aren't interested. And that's okay too. That's fine. That's life. And then there's black women on the fence that would like to date you, but they're unsure. They feel a little guilty. They're on the fence. Oh my God, he's white. He's probably racist. And slavery happened, so I don't know if I could do this. And, that stuff's running through their head. And they're just on the fence. And either they won't date you or they'll be constantly checking you. And you'll be having to prove you're not racist. You're not, and you try to learn what struggle they go through, and that could be tiresome because you don't know. I don't know what a black woman goes through because I'm a white man, right? I didn't grow up around black women like that. There were black people, in my neighborhood, my family was friends with. I mean, but it wasn't like, it was mostly a white community with Hispanic in there, and there wasn't a lot of black people. So I wouldn't know, but you'll be put through that. And then last, there's these black women that just that people refer them to as mammies, but I would, in my opinion, I say they're more like a Karen. Okay, we know what a Karen is: angry, privileged white woman that just wants everything her way and wants people to do it the way she wants it. Well, there's black women like that too, that are just totally for the black man. That it's almost like a worship thing. And black men could actually drag them through the mud and they'll still be loyal. But when it comes to like anything that's opposed to the black man, she's just like ready to fight, ready to battle, and will even attack other black women, or and of course, white men that date black women, they go in and they'll even go after you and attack you, even though you have nothing to do with them. They'll just go in like, to like try to destroy. It's the weirdest thing. Like they want you to know that they're not interested, even though you're not interested in them. They got to point that out and just. And I think it's just anything that puts a negative spin on a black man, they just get so outraged and crazy. It's like, wow, that's what I've done. And this person that did this, she's not unusual. There's other people like this. I've seen this. It's like a movie that plays over and over and over again. Okay. And my thing is why can't you just, if that's what you're into, go where you want to be, where you're loved, right? But this is the things I deal with. And look, black women, white men, we're the most attacked. You can't tell me we're not in today's world. We can go in the past, and I've had black men argue with me that date white women and say, no, we get worse, we get pulled over by the police and this and that. I don't believe it's worse for black men and white women. I think it's more acceptable that way. I think it's the other way around. I think black women and white men are getting most attacked. And black women for sure are being attacked the most. More than any other group, no doubt. And it's sad because black women are amazing. They're doing amazing things in this country. And when you date black women, you get to know them. And here's my experience. Now, I've had a couple bad relationships, but overall, black women have been amazing. Most black women, you show them love and respect, they're going to give it back to you. More so than you gave it to them. And you've always heard me say, if a black woman loves you, you got it made. You're blessed. You've won the lottery of life. Regardless of what racial group you are or ethnicity, black woman loves you, you're going to get an amazing woman that will do what, that will always be there for you. And that's what I've seen in black women. I always thought black women are beautiful and amazing. And this goes deeper than just when I started dating, noticing women. No, it goes to my childhood. There was love I felt back when I was little. When I was a baby, there's something about black women, something that's amazing. And this is my space. This is my home. This is where I belong. Most people will date and whoever. That's fine. But with me, my heart belongs to the black woman. Always has. So Swirl to Investment's my life. This is me. I'm not going anywhere. And I don't look bad on nobody that goes where they want to go. That's your life. That's your decision. But why attack a group of people because they want to be together? Do you know? And that's the problem. People live too much in the collective instead of doing what's best for them as an individual. you know. But anyway, enough said about that. I made my point. I got these videos I want to show you. Okay. And people tell me, okay, where did you get your stats? Where did you get, and I tell them, and they don't believe me, but that's fine. If you got a stat that tells otherwise, show it. But anyway, let me show you this. And I'm going to show you these two women and their opinion, okay? And because I show a TikTok of somebody, that don't mean I totally agree with them, okay? I show people I agree with and some I don't. These two ladies, I probably would agree with them more than not, but, let me just show you real quick. And I might have showed these TikToks before. I don't know. I know one I've shown before that talks about stats. I'm going to show you again. Okay, now let me show you this video.
This is going to be controversial. I don't care. But I love when I go on my TikTok and I go through my For You page and I see a bunch of black women with white men. Or whatever they call it, pasta lobster. Like, I love it because a lot of black men like to say, nobody wants you guys. You guys are undesirable. No man wants to deal with y'all's attitudes and y'all's anger issues and yada, yada, yada. But then they'll say, y'all have no other options. Nobody else wants y'all. But then I'm seeing on my timeline, literally, every time I go on my TikTok, I see a black woman with a white dude or Hispanic or whatever. So who? Maybe it's y'all that don't want us. They want us to believe that nobody else wants us and we're just so undesirable. And then they're basing it all off of their opinions about us. And also that damn article from like years ago that said that on dating apps, black women were the least desirable. Mind you, that was on dating apps. It did not say that. That did not transcript in real life either. I mean, I understand dating apps is real life, but like talking about in day-to-day life. Not everybody meets each other on dating apps. I don't even do dating apps anymore. Dating apps are not it. But it's just like, I don't know, I just be happy as fucking it. And then the dude always be fine. The girl always be bad as fuck. Like, love to see it. So, shout out.
Okay. She's talking about a study they did with a dating app. Okay. And this was biased too, because most of the people were white people that were in this. And black women were the least in there. And not everybody uses a dating app. She's right. I've never used one in my life. I know people that never have, that don't want to. Then again, I know people that use it. I mean, it's just up to you. But to say that nobody wants you, that's disgusting. Why would you tear down a woman just because you might not be interested? But it's not that black men aren't interested in black women. It's like they want to shame them. So they don't open up their options. No, they're saying it because they don't want to lose black women. That's what it is. Even though black women outnumber black men by over 2 million, they want to shame you so you stay where you're at. They want to tell you, hey, that white guy, he don't really want you. And if he does, it's a fetish. Okay? That's what they're doing. Okay, it's not that they believe nobody else wants you. It's a shaming tactic. It's to tell you, black women, stay where you're at. That's what they're telling you. And they want you to believe that other men don't want you. Because when you believe other men don't want you, then you're not going to look their way. And then not only that, some women will have animosity towards these men, thinking they don't like black women, like that, and then they'll say, oh, okay, it's because they're racist. They don't like black women. And then all this stuff gets stirred up. And when none of that's true. It's tactic. It's to mess with you psychologically so you don't mess with white men or other groups of men. And then you think they don't like you. And then you're always told white men are racist, so you're going to believe white men don't like you. And there's a lot of black women out there that have animosity towards white men because they believe white people that were born racist, we jump out of the room and say, Where's some black people we can attack? Like that's what we do. Or we get together and like to say the N-word together. You hear that? I hear that crap all the time. I hear that idiot Umar talking like that. Like we're just so racist we can't help ourselves. It's just stupid. Like we hang around black people and be friendly to just go and attack them when we get together. We don't do that. Now there are a group of racist white people that do that, but the majority of us don't do that crap. We think it's disgusting to attack people because of their race or ethnicity. We don't believe in that. But they put on a perception like we're like that, a stereotype or perception. But nobody calls them out on that. Nobody calls these people out for, calling people a fetishizer, a racist, calling black women bed wenches. Nobody calls these people out. It's fair game. But all hell will break loose if you go check them and say, well, look, your marriage rates ain't that good. You're not doing this. Oh my God, you're not allowed. It's like a one-way attack. You're just supposed to sit there, take it, soil yourself in guilt, and just shut up. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm seeing it different, but no, I pretty much think I'm right on that one. But anyway, and this ain't all people, so this is a minority group of people that does the hating like this, okay? Okay, now this woman on my show, she talks about being married to a successful white man, okay? Now, some of this, I agree. Some I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know about that. But you tell me what you think, okay? And maybe it's because I'm not fully understanding what she's saying. Some I agree, some I don't. Some I'm like, what? But how successful is this white man she's with? Me being a blue collar guy, I do pretty good, but maybe she's married to a millionaire. Different mindset for people in different economic levels, right? But anyway, let's see what she has to say.
That are relationships between black women and white men. And they'll do sort of like these little cheeky videos, where the white guy is saying like things I've learned as a white guy being married to a black woman, right? Well, I want to do my own spin on that. And it's not really a jokey thing. It's like a serious thing, but good things, that I think can benefit you. So things I have learned as a black woman being married to a successful white man in America are, number one, white men in America, especially successful ones, are really good at feeling entitled. And honestly, it can really benefit you to walk into every space, every situation, every circumstance, feeling entitled to be there, to...
Okay. Now, okay. Well, if you're wealthy and you're privileged, you're going to feel a little entitled. Okay. My opinion, I don't think we should carry ourselves like we're entitled to everything, like roll out the red carpet. I know. I would say you could be confident, okay, but feeling entitled. I don't feel we need to do that because, whether we're wealthy at the top or in between, we have to have some humility to where we still got to work for what we want. We still got to put in the work. She's using it as a positive, and I think maybe she's meaning his confidence. Okay. Now, believing, hey, I can make it happen. I can do this. That's different from like, hey, this belongs to me, because of who I am. Yeah, I kind of had a problem with that. But I agree a man should be confident. And people that have money and power, a lot of times they're really confident people because they're successful. They know how to, do things to make them successful. That's how they became successful, right? But entitled, I don't like that word entitled. Okay. Now, wealthy people are going to be entitled to more things than us. I mean, that's just life. Okay. Us as Americans, we have more entitlements than someone from a third world country. Okay. But I don't think we should have that mindset that, hey, I'm entitled. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think be confident, yes. Like, hey, I'm here to win. I'm going to fight. I'm going to win. I'm going to compete. Look, I want to be successful. And, you work on being the best you can be. Life is all about a competition. It really is. And it don't have to be bad. Not to where you're stomping on people or no, but just working harder to put forth a better product, finding out new ideas, coming up with something new and fresh that and people are trying that, and some people are better at it than others, and that's life. But competition is not a bad thing. But entitled, I don't know. I wanted to show you this video because I agree and I don't agree. Does that make sense?
Have those people say yes to you, to close the deal, to get whatever it is you want out of that situation. Feel entitled. That's one thing I've learned from them. Another thing I've learned from being a Black woman married to a white successful man in America is that they are really good at never letting other people shake whatever perception they have decided that they have about themselves. It doesn't matter what you say about them, how much you try to put them down, whatever. They will sometimes smile politely and act like they're taking it in or whatever. But ultimately, once they have decided who they believe that they are and the vision that they have for their life, they will not let any one person, place, thing, family member, anything keep them from walking around in that.
Okay. I want to stop it there. Now, I agree with this, okay? Once you believe in who you are, not let nobody change you or rattle you, okay? Yes. And believe who you are. Stand up for what you believe in. And I believe as we get confident through life, as we grow in our life, and us as men, as we become more of men and we get our confidence and we have that courage, we're not letting nobody stand in our way. Okay. And that's a good quality to have. Know who you are, believe in who you are, and don't let nobody tell you different. Okay. Now do it within reason. I'm not going to say, well, I'm the strongest man in the world, and that's a lie. But I am confident, I'm successful, and I'm going to keep winning. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, have humility, understand who you are and where you come from. Okay. But have the confidence, have that can-do attitude. Okay. Some people use the wrong word. Yeah, sometimes, and maybe that's what she's doing. Maybe entitled isn't a thing. Maybe her husband just believes that, hey, I want this and I'm going to go and get it. And I have every right to compete for that. Maybe that's really what's going on. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue.
That energy in which they believe they are. And I think that bodes well for people to learn how to do that for yourself. And now a third thing I have learned from being with a white successful man in America is taking up space, like unabashedly. Taking up space. And that's not something I've only learned from being married to a white successful man. I have also learned that from living in a dominantly white, wealthy, successful neighborhood. Take up space. the more you take up space, the further along you get. I'm serious. I walk through this neighborhood every day. I don't care what the traffic is doing or whatever. If I'm walking across with my dog, I don't hurry. I don't like kind of do the finger of like, oh, give me a second to get across, humble thing. I just walk across. I don't move out of the way when I'm on the path of people. I don't do any of that. And it's not because I'm being an asshole. I've learned that it's actually just better that way. You just create a better energy and attract better to yourself when you don't feel like you have to shrink yourself or move out of the way for anyone or anything. And so those are just 3 things I've learned, but maybe if you guys like this, I'll do some more. But those are probably the top 3 things that I, as a Black woman, have learned being married to a white, successful male in America. All right, stay soft. Bye.
Okay. Well, all right. The last one. Look, I disagree with what she's saying. Okay. I don't think it's a weakness to get out of people's way. I don't think, taking your time and making them wait on you. No, it don't matter how much money I have, how successful. I'm not going to do that to people. I think we need to be kind. If they're trying to get across the road and you're in the crosswalk, I'll get out of their way so they could go by. I don't like making people wait on me. Okay, there's nothing wrong with waving. Hey, okay, go ahead. Showing some kindness, showing that has nothing to do with success. That just means you're being a kind person. Um, I don't know. That just sounded. I didn't really like the last thing she said, but I mean, nothing against the young lady. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady, and I'm sure her husband's successful, and she is too. I get her point, but it was okay. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding it. Maybe it's like, um, I don't know. Maybe it's just a different mindset. Maybe she's like, I belong here too, so you might have to wait on me. I'm not going jump through hoops to get out of your way because I'm important too. Maybe that's what it. But I mean, I'm kind to people. I'll get out of their way. I don't. That has nothing to do with my success in the world. That has nothing to do with my success. you know, it doesn't. Whether I'm at my job or you know how much wealth I got. That I mean, we should be kind regardless. Um, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, and maybe her husband's created, wealth for her, and he's really confident, and maybe she looks at him as a white man as being entitled. Okay, there's that stereotype that white people have privilege over black people, and a lot of black people say, well, they do. And do they in today's world? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, I never had anybody give me a job because I'm white. I just never have. I see successful black people too. I mean, I think it's you put in the work. Now during Jim Crow, yeah, there's no doubt. And certain areas there probably is, some white privilege going on that on the down low. Um, Sadly, money have changed this gold digger. Okay. I just I know, but there's that perception there, right? And a lot of people feel like, hey, I wasn't given money. I had to work hard and I struggled and I had to, take risks to make this happen. And, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of drifting here. But let me show you this next video. And this here is a TikTok for interracial relationships. Okay, I've shown this. This will be my third time since I've been on YouTube showing this. Okay. And this is done by a white woman, okay, that's married to a white man. And she looked into the numbers in the Pew Research. This is a study from 2017. Now, I'd like to see today's study, but some of these studies were, we're not in real time when it comes to interracial dating and marriage, because when they do the studies, we either get it a year or two behind. So there might be something awesome happening and we might not find out about it for a year or two. But anyway, let me go ahead and put this out there. And if you guys are wondering what this says, research it. Go to Pew Research, go to U.S. Census. There's different studies, okay? But regardless of who's the most successful, as an individual, as a man, it's in your hands. As a woman, it's in your hands, whether you're successful or not. It has nothing to do with race or your ethnicity. It's your character, okay? And there's culture that has, something to do with it, And if we're accepting, if we're loose with our morals and we don't work as hard, good things won't just happen. You got to make them happen. There's two types of people in this world: people that wait for things to happen and people that make things happen. You're either one or the other, okay? But anyway, let me show you this video real quick.
A white guy is almost 45% less like.
Okay, this is a TikTok, but she did a study on this and says white women relates what we've been saying about interracial marriage rates. Okay, and this is 2017 study, 50 years after Loving versus Virginia, trends and patterns in intermarriage. Okay, this is just a snippet of what she did, but listen.
So a white guy is almost 45% less likely to get a divorce if he marries a black woman than if he marries a white woman. It's actually shocking that it's that high. Marriages including a black husband and a white wife were more prone to divorce than those composed of black husbands and black wives. So black men.
All right, let me stop it there. Okay, dang it. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. Let me stop it there. Okay. She's talking about marriage rates. Okay, marriages including a black husband, white wife, were prone to divorce than those opposed to black husband, black wives. Okay, so what the study's saying is marriages between a black man and white woman are more prone to divorce than two black people being married, right? And then it says black male, white female couples also had the highest likelihood of a divorce of all white and non-white marriages. So the worst, according to the study, is black men and white women. Okay, and I get hate on this. People hate me saying, but this is what the study's saying. Okay. And then it says, while interracial marriages correlates to a higher rate of divorce, this parallel applies mainly to marriages involving non-white. I think white women, I don't know.
Are the best off with black women, and they're the worst off of any racial pairing. So Hispanic and black, white and black, white and Hispanic, Asian and Hispanic. Out of all the pairings, a black man and a white woman are the least successful statistically. White women are most likely to have a marriage end in divorce than any other race of women.
Oh, wow. Did you hear what she said? White women are more prone to have a divorce than any other group of women. Wow. Why would that be? Now, this is statistics. So if you're a white woman watching, I'm not saying all white women are like that. But according to the study, why is that? Could that explain why marriages within white people isn't lasting? I know the blame always goes to the white man because everything's our fault. But I just, that's interesting. But anyway, let's continue.
And that's where I get into how it is beneficial for white women to know this. It's nothing that we should be like offended by or anything like that. Again, these are statistics. People have lives that go against statistics every day.
Yeah, let me make this point. This is statistics, okay? This doesn't mean you. I think a lot of people take this personal. Oh, you're attacking that person and I belong to that group, so you're attacking me. No, this is just a study, okay? The beautiful thing is you have the power to not, go along with the collective or the study. Your success is up to you. Okay? But look at it for what it is. Is it right? Is it true? Let's continue.
Now, here's another similarity between white men and black women. Black women make the least amount when they're with a black man. A white man makes the least amount of money when he's with a white woman. So that is kind of unique. Okay, but this is what I really wanted to get into because this is shocking. Of all the pairings, right? So the white man with the black woman is the most successful of all interracial pairings, right? That is with the fact that a white husband and a black wife are more likely than any other racial pairing to be going into that marriage as a second marriage with children, both of which substantially make divorce far more likely. So imagine if...
Oh, wait, let me stop there. This is interesting. So let me get this right, okay? And think about this. So a white man that marries a black woman is going to have a more successful marriage, statistically, right? And also going to have more wealth marrying a black woman. Is that true? I thought there's a white privilege thing. And I know it's not because black women are bringing a whole bunch of money to the relationship. Why is that? And I look, I use my life as an example, right? When I look at my marriage, look, I've been married 30 years to my wife, right? We have three children. All our children are grown, okay? Our youngest is 22, okay? That shows how old I am, right? And my haters love to throw my age in there. I'm like, okay. But all of mine and Sandy's children, okay, me and my wife, all three of our children are college educated. Okay. Me and my wife, made sure our kids had a good education. Okay. I didn't go to the best schools. Well, I come from teenage parents, so I didn't have, there's some privileges I missed out on. Okay. So my education level when I graduated high school was lacking. Okay. I had to go back and take college courses to get my reading level up, to get my comprehension up. I had to. And I followed up, and I went to college. All of us in my family did, okay? Um and my wife was real instrumental in helping me through that. Um and I'm better off for it today. And in fact, correcting my flaw, my downfall actually didn't just improve me but my whole family. And our mindset is our kids are going to be educated. They're going, and we've had to pay for private schools. I mean, and being in the Army for 20 years, and a lot of times when my wife didn't work because we got 3 kids, she couldn't. So I had to, we had to do a little sacrifice so our children could get an education. Okay. So they can have the best education, not just go to a public school and run them through. No, private schools, tutors, that stuff costs money, but it's well worth the investment. Okay. Um, and I think that has something to do with black women and white men. A lot of black women are, well, they're leading the way with college, right? And degrees too. But with the black woman's mindset and the white man, we kind of on the same page when it comes to that. And we're successful. And I'm telling you why we have more wealth with black women. You want to know why? Because black women pour everything into the relationship. Black women will give you everything. If she loves you and you're doing what you're supposed to as a man, there's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing. Nothing that can stop you. What's that? Is that New Mexico had terrible? Oh yeah. Well, I'm a product of New Mexico education. Yeah. It took me getting some re-education through college courses to prep me to go to college. Tell me that ain't embarrassing. I had to go to college to take classes so I could go to college. And I wasn't going to let my kids be in that situation. Thank God for my wife. Thank God for the Army giving me the opportunity I had to get my reading level up and learning skills I'm using today for my employment. So I just want to say that. Yeah. Some California could be great, but depends on where. Yeah. My kids have a pretty good education because, well, being in the Army, it actually benefited them in this way because we were always in little towns, okay, in the middle of nowhere, and they grew up mostly in the Midwest in Colorado, Kansas, Missouri. That's pretty much where we were, right? In these little towns. But the thing about it is you get to know the teachers, your kids, everybody knows everybody, and if your kids are struggling in school, you know about it. You'll run into their teacher at the grocery store. And there's more of a smaller community type thing. And a lot of tutors that I would pay for my children when they had trouble were some were retired military discipline. And I'm telling you, my oldest daughter, she went through. I mean, she went all through school in the honor roll. She, she went to the University of New Mexico, New Mexico State, uh, Arizona State University, and everywhere she went, she was on the dean's list. Her her academics pretty much paid for her college. She's that smart. I mean, she's like Condoleezza Rice smart, just brilliant type smart, Um, and all three of my kids are smart, but my oldest she's almost like a genius. It's weird, but it's just and having a good foundation and making education a priority. That's why Asians do well a lot of times. They make education such a priority that their kids are challenged. And that's really what we need to do. But I don't want to get too far off topic, but we do have more wealth. Black women, white men.
If white men and black women didn't have to wait until they were like 50 and divorced with kids to realize that they're actually a good match. Imagine if people were kind of more open.
Okay, let me say this too. This is interesting because she's saying that black women and white men a lot of times are getting married later on to each other or already had other marriages, okay? But yet leading the way, and usually people that divorce, once you divorce, your chances of a successful marriage goes down, 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 down. But for some reason, black women, white men on the rebound, when they come together, they're making it work. Okay? Now, this is a lot of people that are getting married. Now, but what they're not talking about is younger people are doing it more too. But this wasn't in that study. And I would say black women and white men need to get married at a younger age. Open up your options early. Okay? I'm just saying. But according to this study, that's what they're seeing. Most of them are like later on getting married. And a lot of elderly couples are interracially marrying. I'm seeing that. I've seen it within my church. A white man married a black woman, and they both are widows. They both lost their spouse, and they found love. And the world's changing. Back in the day, they couldn't do that probably. But it's changing across the board. More millennials are interracially dating. Okay, us Gen Xers, look, and this is my opinion, the swirling, the divestment, all that stuff, this was really happening in the 1980s, back in my time, because they didn't call it those things, but you've seen it happening. I remember in high school, it was like, I was doing it and people thought I was kind of weird and strange, but then other guys were dating black women like, hey, and then it was weird. Like my sophomore year on out, it seemed like the interracial thing was a big thing. Like it was like a trend happening. And we're seeing that. The other day, I was sitting in my backyard, and my backyard sits up high, and I can look down and see everything. And, and kids were coming home from school, from the local high school. And, I seen these two kids, and he was white, she was black, holding hands. And this isn't uncommon anymore. You see this all the time. And I was just thinking, in my head, are they dating? Is that going to end up being anything? Will they get married? Or will they marry other people interracially? Because I dated interracially, but I didn't get married till I started dating 85, didn't get married till 94. So I didn't marry the first black girl I dated. But, and that's not uncommon. You don't always date the first person you meet or marry the first person you date. But anyway, let's continue.
From the beginning, just how even more likely to be in successful marriages a white man and a black woman would be. I asked my husband, I was like, how could it be this stark? Like, does it really just boil down to gratitude? And he was like, you know what, Cassie, I think it does. It's like, hey, we're both like the people that get, all the crap from our respective communities. It's relatable. Like, they can kind of relate on that level.
Oh, let me stop it there. I would say she's 100% right. It is gratitude. Yes, black women, white men, we appreciate each other. Okay? I appreciate black women in their kindness. I appreciate, not being blamed for everything. And I know black women appreciate it too. Black women appreciate not being, talked about because of her skin tone. I know black women appreciate a man not going in on her because of her makeup and her hair or her skin tone. I know black women appreciate not having to deal with that. And us white men appreciate being appreciated. It is gratitude. That's a big part of it. Don't kid yourself. She's absolutely right. Because our communities, they really at times treat us bad. Think about it. We get the blame. If it's wrong, it's the white man's fault. The black community, it's the black woman's fault. We appreciate the love we give to each other. We do. She's absolutely right. I had to stop it on that one because she hit the nail right on the head.
That's my guess as to why, even despite all the odds against them, the white man and black woman is the most successful racial pairing. For black men, you hear a lot of the blame for the low marriage rates, for women not being compliant, women not being submissive, they're not feminine enough, they're not, this or that enough. I mean, it turns out that when black women date interracially, they tend to actually be capable of being, good wives and having successful long-term relationships with other races of men, whereas black men can't really say the same. When they're matched with other races of women, they're even less likely to be successful than if they're with black women. And white women and black men are the absolutely least successful of any racial pairing. So these issues going on where black women are the ones most commonly blamed for the breakdown of the black family, white men tend to be most commonly blamed for the breakdown of the white family. And really, most of the statistics and studies and surveys tend to show that it's the exact opposite. The common denominator in these are actually the black man and the white woman.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Yeah, don't give out your ad. No, I'm not going to do that. What do you think about that video? I showed it before, but I mean, she hits the nail on the head. And this is a white woman doing it. What did she have to gain from it? Okay. And actually saying that white women are the worst when it comes to marriage, she's saying her group's the worst. But I think she has the confidence to say, you know what? Yeah, it's that way, but that's not me. And that's what I would say to people that get upset with me showing these videos and talking about stats. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the ones not doing the right thing. Be mad at the ones not marrying the women they lay down with. Be mad at the ones not taking care of women. We need to be more concerned about women than us men, seriously. Because the better we treat the women that's in our community, is the better off we'll be. The better we treat our women, the better off we'll be. The more work we put on in, the better off we'll be. And like she said, this is a study. These are stats. Okay? Stats are meant to be broken. Look, how far you go in your life is up to you. I was trying to highlight all the things in capital. Okay? But look, this wasn't a trigger thing. I was just pointing some things out. Okay? Swirl to investment. We have a blessing. We have something that's beautiful. Okay? And good things are happening. And we got the love, we got the power. And when I mean the power of two people coming together in marriage, the power of having each other. Okay? That's powerful. Having someone in your life that you love, that loves you, that's power. That's actually protection for both the man and the woman. Think about it. Yes, men, we protect women physically, sure. But it protects us as men too. You know how? We feel loved. We're less stressed. We're happy. And if we're doing a marriage right, okay, on both sides, we're going to be happier and healthier. That's power. And then there's the opposition. You know the opposition's out there. Okay, and they will do every dirty little trick to try to destroy the swirl to investment, to try to destroy the black woman, white man relationship. They will use, look, they will use stereotypes, generalizations. They'll talk about slavery all day. They'll talk about every evil thing a white man's done on the planet. They'll tell black women nobody wants them. They'll shame everybody. It's disgusting. And nobody calls it out. Why is that? Why do we sit here and say, and just let them say slavery and just ignore it? I don't want to get caught up in that. No, call it out. It's wrong. You don't know anything about me, my wife, my family? Cut it out. You don't know that black woman, that white man that are together out there. Why do you got to attack them? It's okay for a group to think they're the best. That's cool. But you don't got to attack the other group. You know what I mean? And me putting out numbers and stats isn't attacking nobody. I know some people say, well, you attack people with your stats. They're not my stats. Okay. Protection from sin as fornication. Yeah. You know, it's power. There's power in protection. And we're being in a good marriage. Look, my marriage, I'm protected. You know how? I have somebody that loves me. My wife, she'll do anything for me. She has my back. You know, when I'm stressed, I can come to her and know she's there for me. I'm happy. Me and my wife, we're living our lives. We've won. And I thought about that. And sometimes I get in YouTube, somebody says something, I'll get mad and go into that. And I'm thinking, why? Why even bother? I've already won. I wake up in the morning, my wife hugs me and says she loves me, and says I'm a blessing. I'm like, wow, I won. Me and my wife, we went the distance and we won. We swirled to investment and we won. I know they're not going to admit that we have that victory, and that's all right, whatever. But I thought about that. You know, and I want this platform to be positive. I want this, you know, to be about promoting interracial relationships, about promoting black women and white men, or black women and Asian men, or Hispanic, whatever. I want to promote that. And I want to promote doing it the right way. I want to promote the swirl, but I want the swirl to go to investment. That's what I'm about. That's what I want. Now you can come over here and not agree with that. I don't care, as long as you're respectful and kind. You know, but that's what my channel is about. That's what it is. I share my life story with you guys. What me and my wife went through. You know, and I don't come up here bragging. I really don't. You know, I put in hard work. Me and my wife are successful, but we had our struggles. Look, I graduated high school with a 6th grade reading level. It's pretty freaking embarrassing. I was on a path to nowhere fast. But I had a father that, you know, was always on my back to turn it around, to get my life together. Then I met my wife. Then I went in the army, and wonderful things started happening. But I had to have that humility and understand where I was at. And I want to tell you that story. I want you to know that, you know, we can be successful within our marriage. We could come together, black women, white men. We could do it. We love each other. You know we do. I've seen it through my whole life. And don't let the few haters stop you. Don't let the conditioning control you. You don't belong to anyone, ladies, except who you want to belong to. No man has a say in who you date, who you marry. That's you. And you're not a sellout because you marry a man from another racial group or another culture. No. That just means you fell in love with somebody that don't look like you. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of times we're not happy because we go with the flow and do what people tell us we should do, or what we think people want us to do. There's black women and white men in our country today that are heartbroken. And there's some of them that are watching me talk today, and they know they messed up. They knew they shouldn't have listened to what their so-called friends and family members said. They know they missed that blessing. They know it. Don't let nobody dictate your life. It's your life. Okay? And regardless what these stats, these studies say, that don't have to apply to you. Be that rugged individual. Live your life. Do it your way. Do what's right, and you'll reap the rewards. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this down. I just wanted to talk about this tonight and let you see that what I go through. Let you see some of the comments, guys. Okay? And some people say, well, you know, I get attacked too. Yeah. But this is on the regular. And if people wonder why sometimes I get on a rant and talk about things, because I'm constantly bombarded with it. I wish YouTube would pay me Pay me 10 cents every time someone brings up slavery. Gosh, I'd be rich. I'd be wealthy. I would be like, oh my God. And why do they got to talk about that? What's me married to a black woman got to do with what happened in the past? Actually, it's a good thing, isn't it? We're coming together in love. We're not doing what we did in the past. Isn't it a blessing that there's white men that love black women? I'm confused here. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, would people rather me spew hate towards black women and go off on them? I'm just saying. This is all crazy. But anyway. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get off for today. I just wanted to talk about this. And look, Swirl to investment. Okay. It's a movement that's going on and it's gaining traction. And it's been going on long before I was here. I just put a name on it. Okay. There's always been white men that marry black women and fall in love. It's just more doing it now, and that's good. We need a shift. We need to get out of the norm. We have to, and it's about survival. You got to go for the best option, whatever that is. Just like Vester, black men can get their kids paid. Yeah, they're not going to like through interracial marriage. Well, there's a lot of cases where that does happen. Okay. 400 years ago, wow. But anyway, let me drop the link. If you want to come up, I'll give you a chance. I'm going to make it brief, though. I'm not going to go long. If you do come up, I got some stuff I got to do today. Sorry I haven't been on for a little while. Just taking a break. This weekend, I just was spending it with my wife, and then last night I had to work late, so I'm just like, you know what? Let me do this Sunday. And my show's going vary. I can't keep the same schedule every week. My workload is weird, and it changes. It just goes along on what work needs to be done, how many projects, and all that stuff. I can't predict that. But here in a few years, I'll be done with that, retired. I could retire now if I wanted to, but trying to get the bigger nest egg, But anyway, let me say this to you guys, okay? Open up your options. Go where you're loved, okay? We're seeing amazing things happen with black women, white men. And don't be ashamed to embrace that, okay? White men, don't be afraid of black women. Talk to black women. Get to know them. You'll find out, like I did, that there are women out there that will love you. When I started dating and I started figuring out that there's black women that want to date white men and there's black women that love white men, I was like, oh my God, I never thought. But I embraced it. I thought, man, this is beautiful. Thank you, God. Thank you. That's really where I was at. I was grateful. I didn't think of it like, well, she's a woman, that's supposed to happen. I thought it'd be tough because she's black and I'm white. And then when it happens, I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I think that's that gratification we have. Black women, white white men, when we come together, we appreciate each other. And we think, wow, we think we don't like each other. And when we get together and find love, it's like we found something we found a treasure that, oh man. And I said this and I'll say it again. I know there's a God. And my wife is proof there's a God. And it's proof that he loves me. Let me say that again. My wife is proof there's a God and he loves me. People say, "Oh, that's so cute. That's so..." No, but that's what I believe. That's the truth. I don't deserve the wife I have. I don't. And when people attack my wife, it makes me mad. It makes me angry. When you attack my wife, you're attacking my treasure. You're attacking my blessing. You're attacking the best part of me. She is the better half, no doubt. But I get so enraged because, and I know these trolls know that. That's why they attack her, because it's just like, but got to stay the course. We have a blessing out here, and people need to know this. And black women, you need to know that men love you. White men look. I've been married 30 years. My dating days were over in 93. Okay. Last date I had was 1993. And that was with my wife. Okay. Right now I'm at the point where I'm passing the torch. I already lived my life. I won. I swirled to investment and I won. And nobody can take that away. People can look for dirt or whatever, but they can't take away what I have, what me and my wife Sandy have. They can't. We won. Now I'm passing the torch. And I want other people to win. Swirl to investment and win. That's what it's about. And let me tell you, we have a purpose. This channel, I don't know how big it'll get. Who knows? Okay? But that's not the point. If I could reach one or two people, it's worth it. It's worth all the videos, all the work, all the stress, all the crap. Oh, you getting ready for WrestleMania? Okay. Awesome. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this, guys. I love you guys. Ladies, understand your worth. Understand your value. Okay? And guys, get to know black women. Don't go on stereotypes and hear a black woman that's acting like an angry Karen going off, okay? That's just, most black women aren't like that. Usually black women are reasonable. If they're not interested, they're not interested. They don't really mess with you like that. And the ones that are interested, they'll love you. God is alive and well. Wake up, America. Religion don't have a color on it. It don't. You're absolutely right, Beverly. So, guys, go for the best option. Go where you love. Black women. You're putting in more work than any other group of women. Okay? And you're settling for less. You really are. And you shouldn't do that. You're more beautiful, more valuable to be dealing with that. You should never date or marry down. Okay? It's about survival. It's about finding somebody that loves you, finding true love, finding, you know, something that's going to benefit you both. You know, finding black women and white men are finding that. In many cases, a lot of black women, white men are meant for each other. You know? But make the man be a man, ladies. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I've been looking at this thing on the YouTube and TikTok, this 4B movement thing. I haven't really researched it. I've listened to a little bit of it, but you got people acting crazy. And then there's a counter 4G movement. And I'm like, okay. And what I've seen about this 4B movement, okay? Now, I don't think it's going to be as big as people think it is. I don't think it's really going to gain traction. You'd have to be really disciplined. But I think what it could do that would be positive is women just not deal with men that won't do the right thing. You know what I mean? Be more selective, ladies. If he ain't a good man and he ain't going to put in the work, leave him alone. You know? 4B is about not having kids. I don't know. Don't get me lying right now. I haven't really looked at. I just heard people talk about it. I haven't really researched it. Okay. Apparently, from what I think, what I get that I think it is it's about women cutting off access to men because they're not doing the right thing. Not having kids. Well, it could be not having kids, not procreating, not dating, not having sex because. And I don't know if it's just they're stopping completely or they're just cutting off the men not doing the right thing. I don't know. Dating outside your race is an option now. Yeah, it is. You can date anyone you want. And ladies, look, don't be afraid of white people really seriously. You know, seriously. Look, I live in a predominantly white neighborhood and nobody cares that my wife's black. People around here love my wife. Okay? My family, you know, accepts my wife, loves my wife. You know, there's only a couple people I had a problem with in my family. Distant relatives, whatever. But you know, don't believe in that stereotype like the mom's going to say something racist to the black wife and the white guy's just going to allow it. And I guess that can happen. That's never happened in my family, my situation. And if it did, I would flip the freak out. I would be going off. It's starting in Korea. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know much about it. I'm not going to get in the 4B right now. I have to learn more before I can give an opinion on it because I don't know what it is really. But and do I really need to talk about it? I don't know if I really even need to cover it. So many people are covering it right now. If I want to learn about it, I guess I could. Well, I don't know if it's just a good idea to just listen to YouTubers talk about it because you might get the wrong idea about it. Maybe research it where the origin is and why they did it, how long it's been going on, what's it about. But anyway, guys, have a good day. Thank you for watching. You know, open up your options. Okay? Black women, white men, give each other a chance. Okay? Get to know each other. Stay away from those stereotypes, okay? Those generalizations. Find out the truth on your own. Give each other a chance. Get to know each other. You might be surprised. Believe it or not, us white men ain't so bad. Once you get to know us, heck, you might be shocked. You might be surprised. my dating time, I remember there was some black women saying, wow, you're not like, I didn't know white guys were like this. I didn't know. Yeah, because you never dated one. You never got to know one. But anyway, have a good night, guys. Thank you for watching. God bless you and your family. I'm going to try to have a prayer meeting Tuesday, guys. Okay? I'm shooting for it. And Saturday, I'm going to plan to go live Saturday. If not, it'll be Sunday, okay? And that's just something I can't help. And I'm not going to do a show 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So, anyway, have a good day. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you soon.